Y'all, we almost got him. The hashtag almost worked. Hashtag turn around Bruce Wayne. It was so close to turning around multiple times and we didn't get it. What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. Hashtag turn around Bruce Wayne. We almost got that. Welcome to the season finale episode, what is it now, 11 review of Titans. I am so excited to talk about this episode. We have come on this journey throughout the entire year. We are finally to the finale. Thank you guys for coming along with me. I have enjoyed talking about every episode. I have thoroughly enjoyed the series as a whole. If you would like an entire review of the whole season, that way I can give you guys my score, give you guys my thoughts on how it's improved throughout the season, please let me know in the comments down below and just comment your thoughts on this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you like about it? But we are going to get into this episode. If you guys don't know, heavy spoilers as I start at the beginning and we just kind of work our way through, so let's get into it. So in the finale of Titans Season 1, Dick takes a dark journey back to Gotham in the season finale. Now, I saw this trailer and I wanted to do a reaction on my channel, but I was at work at the time, so I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and watch it. That way I can get pumped for the season finale, and I'm like, this is not Trigon. This is not where we left off. What's going on? I started to think about it, and as I'm thinking about it, it all of a sudden clicked in my head, oh. This could either be a completely different direction than what we as the fans think it's going to go in this last episode, or B, it is Trigon controlling the mind of Robin, and everything that is happening on screen is a little fantasy world. Now, I didn't know what direction within that it would go. I didn't know if it would be Trigon allowing him to choose his own path, him kind of constructing this universe for him. I didn't know where exactly that was going to be, but I did have a really good premonition that the episode was going to have to do with Trigon, even though that trailer had nothing to do with Trigon, so that was interesting, and I'm glad they chose that path because this was a really cool episode. Now, was it the episode that I think we were all anticipating halfway through episode 10? No. Was it the episode that kind of cut off this storyline and closed it appropriately? Absolutely not. But one thing I said in my last episode review, I said I wanted more of Trigon. There was no way whatsoever with one episode remaining, and I originally saw that there were 2 episodes remaining, then I saw episode 11 was the finale. I was very confused. But there's no way you could bring in Trigon for the first time in episode 10 and wrap it all up in a 42-minute episode. That's not going to happen. So regardless, Trigon needed to stay through the end of season 1. That way it could set him up as the big bad for season 2. Now, how they went about that, I didn't know how they were going to do it, but then I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh, they're going to do the whole thing where things are happening in his mind. It's not where I would have went personally. It's not the direction I would have taken. I kind of wanted a big battle between the Titans where they're all teaming up and they're taking on Trigon. We will get that. I am sure we will get that eventually now that they have set up the stakes at the end of this episode and left us once again on a cliffhanger for God knows how long. And another complaint that I think people are going to have is they have had heavy focus on Dick Grayson. Now, yes, Raven and Gar, they were in this episode. You had Dove and Hawk, I guess they were both in here. And then you had Jason Todd coming back. There were a lot of characters in here, but it was all this kind of scenario playing out in Robin's mind. So the focus of the episode was Dick Grayson. We have had a lot of that this season, and a lot of people are going to say, well, Austin, they have focused way too heavily on Dick Grayson, and I kind of agree in a way. I'm like, yeah, I would have liked a little bit more character development from Starfire. I would have liked maybe a Beast Boy-centric episode. We got something similar, but more development within the team of the Titans. But now that we have this Dick Grayson storyline, this kind of Elseworlds episode, it's what I like to consider it, because this is a scenario that, say you're reading a comic book, you're reading a storyline, and then this different iteration of this character's comic book comes out, and you're like, oh, this is in a different universe, but I'm going to read that and see what happens. This is like a different universe of the team, of the characters that we know and love. So we care about the stakes of the episode, even though they keep showing that glitch in that world. So you know, even if you don't know that Trigon is in control, you know that something funky is going on. But it's interesting to see this what-if scenario. What if Batman had turned around Bruce Wayne? Come on, we didn't get to see his face. What if Batman really lost his mind? What if people around him continued to die, such as Alfred and Commissioner Gordon and Barbara was missing, and he just went off the deep end, and he didn't just go off the deep end. He went crazy. He is throwing the Joker off rooftops, and he's going into Arkham, and he's just slicing and dicing all the people, and you're like, wow, Robin really has to stop Batman. Now, I really wanted a Robin versus Batman showdown, this big hand-to-hand combat scene where they just went at it. I wanted to see that. We did not get that, and as we were going through the episode, when they just weren't showing Bruce Wayne's face, and they kept doing the over-the-shoulder shots, I'm like, we're not going to get that showdown, because if we got that showdown, then they would have to show who Batman was, and that's just not going to happen, which is fine. I still liked what happened because this was just a cool scenario. This entire what-if situation, I'm sitting there like, I am very much invested in what's happening right now. If this was a show in itself, an entire 10-episode season of what if Batman went off the deep end and the whole thing's about all of the Robins and Batgirl and everybody trying to fix it, I'd be okay with that, but it's not. It's a one-off episode kind of thing, and the entire thing was being controlled by Trigon. It's just a cool path to go down. It's a path that might get a lot of heat because it's not the season finale that people are expecting, and in my eyes, it's not necessarily a season finale. This is something that I think should have been the episode before the finale, but I would be lying if I said I wasn't sitting here enjoying it, watching it, even though I didn't get that showdown with Trigon that I wanted. I was sitting here interested and thoroughly invested in the character of Dick Grayson in this episode, and he continues to get better for me, mostly because they have fleshed out his character quite a bit, more than any of the other characters, but it still makes him really likable, and I like Robin a lot. I cannot wait to see him turn into Nightwing. And this was just an interesting decision to make by the filmmakers here, and I applaud doing something different. I applaud a season finale that got fans hyped, a season finale that, in a way, didn't pay off for some people, but then, in a way, gave us a story that ended up being really cool. And the end of the episode set up for, I think, what we have wanted to see. Now, how long do we have to wait? That's something that might get people up in arms, but overall, I had a good time with this episode. I would be lying if I said that I didn't. There were a couple of things, like when he calls the police and the guy busts in like 9 seconds later. It's like, was he in the building when he called the police? And some lines between he and Donna is just like, oh, that's a little bit too on the nose. And there's one scene where they're sitting there with their kid and they're supposed to be looking at a computer screen, but the kid's just like looking in the corner somewhere. I'm like, kid, pay attention. Those are nitpicks. This thing ended off on a very strong note, and I cannot wait to talk about the entire season, and I cannot wait for you guys to let me know in the comments down below, did you like this episode? Did you enjoy the season finale of Titans? Don't let me know what you think about the whole season yet. Let's save that for the next video when I just sit down and talk about the entire thing and how it's progressed from episode 1 to episode 11, and I will probably be even pushing that out today. And do not forget, Young Justice is the next show, and we will be doing that episode by episode as well. And they just announced their entire slate. We have things like Stargirl and Doom Patrol and Swamp Thing, and my body is not ready. I can't take it. All of this DC television madness, guys. I am so genuinely happy we are getting all of this, and I do think we deserve it, especially when we just got Aquaman in the theaters. A lot of DC goodness right now. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being involved into this channel. Be sure to like this video if you want more episode reviews of the DC shows. I will catch you guys very soon later on today.